The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2, in conjunction with Colfax High School, presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN2 studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 2-5 Colfax Vikings, who are 1-1 in the Dun St. Croix Conference, are getting ready to take on the 4-2 Spring Valley Cardinals, who are 2-0 in the Dun St. Croix. The Vikings are coming off an exciting overtime 65-62 win over the Boyceville Bulldogs on Tuesday, while the Cardinals defeated the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 60-33 also on Tuesday. In tonight's edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Spring Valley Cardinals and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready!
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
Helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's Dun St. Croix Conference clash between the Spring Valley Cardinals and the Colfax Vikings. The 2-5 Vikings are hoping to build upon their 65-62 overtime win over the Boyceville Bulldogs on Tuesday. And the Cardinals are looking to keep their conference record unblemished following their 60-33 win over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Now, in the Vikings win over Boyceville, the Vikings were led in scoring by 5'7" senior Elijah Ensminger, who hit 7 field goals, including a three-pointer, and went 5 for 6 from the free throw line for 20 points. He was followed by 6'3" senior Eli Ralph, who canned 7 field goals, including a three-pointer, for 15 points. Also scoring in double digits were Aiden Fisher with 14 and Mason Yarrington, who hit his season high of 11 points. The Cardinals are currently tied for first place in the Dun St. Croix Conference with the Durand, Arkansas Panthers with 2-0 records. Now, so far this season, the Spring Valley Cardinals are being led in scoring by 6-foot junior Cade Stashik, who is shooting 37% from the floor and 67% from the free throw line, while averaging just over 13 points per game. He's followed by Jamison Bauer, who's putting up 8 points per game. Now, on the boards, the Cardinals are being led by 6'6" junior Mason Wolf, who's grabbing an average of 8 rebounds per game. In addition, Stashik is pulling down over 7 boards per game. Now, thus far this season, the Vikings are being led in scoring by Ensminger, who's averaging 15 points per game. Aiden Fisher is also scoring in the double digits with an average of nearly 13 points per game. Eli Ralph is also contributing with around 6.5 points per game. Leading the way rebounding for the Vikings is Blake Johnson, who's grabbing 8 boards per game, with Orion Nichols pulling down over 7. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 and Viking TV.
Here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with Viking boys head coach Mark Knoll. And coach, on Tuesday, the Vikings played one of the more exciting games I've had the chance to watch when they defeated the Boyceville Bulldogs 65-62 in overtime. What can you tell us about that game?
Well, I was very proud of the boys and just how hard they played and how focused they were and how determined they played the game. We dug ourselves a hole right away, being down 8-0. And then we got it to 4 at halftime. And we talked about the first 5 minutes, getting that game back to tied or taking the lead. And actually 5 minutes in, we took a 9-point lead. So we had a huge run there during that time. And that was kind of the breaking point for us.
Well, Dickens might have written Tale of Two Cities, but the Vikings wrote the Tale of Two Halves on Tuesday with the Bulldogs. And in that game, the Vikings seemed to find a way to make the offense work with both an inside and outside game, which allowed 4 players to score in double digits. Can you tell us a little about that offensive production that's starting to show up?
Obviously, we want everyone to get involved, and part of that is transition, is where we can get people involved and spacing out and run the court hard. And that's how Eli Ralph was able to get a couple of easy buckets. Mason Yerington was able to get a couple of easy baskets as well by just sprinting the court.
And you've talked about Mason earlier this year and his three-point skill. He finally seemed to find that range on Tuesday. How important is that for the Vikings' continued success?
He has a really nice shot. He just hasn't found his rhythm completely in the games yet. He's shown it in practice. So it's just a matter of time that he has a bust out game here sometime soon where he'll hit 5, 6, 7 threes in a game. Now
tonight, the Vikings are going to take on the always powerful Spring Valley Cardinals. What can you tell us about the Cardinals?
Obviously, they're a team that has a lot of experience. I think every kid is back for them from last year, and they have a little bit of everything. They have perimeter players, inside players, size, speed, and obviously they're a well-coached team as well. But they're a team that's not going to hurt themselves. What I mean by that is they're not going to take bad shots. They're not going to have turnovers. They're just going to be a solid team. And so on the other end, we have to be just as solid, if not more.
Now, on paper, it appears, and granted, the games are not played on paper, but it appears as though the Vikings could match up pretty well with the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't have a massive height advantage, which you've had to deal with a couple times this year. And their leading scorer, Cade Stashik, is scoring right around 13 points per game, which is good, but it's not out of the world. Yet the Cardinals are 2-0 in conference play, and what adjustments do the Vikings need to be made to pull out a victory tonight?
Well, a big part for us is on the offensive end, we really need to execute and try to get the best shot possible, not just taking the first shots, but work the ball around, get a really good shot. And then defensively, contesting the three-point shot is going to be big for us tonight with Stashik and Bauer. They both shoot the three quite a bit. They both have shot almost 43s already in a young year, and not allowing them to get hot. And that's kind of what hurt us in one of the games last year. Bauer hit 6 threes in the second half of a game that we lost at Spring Valley.
Okay. Well, Coach Knoll, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can find a way to keep climbing up through that conference race.
Thank you. Go Vikings.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. Tonight, The Dunn St. Croix Conference continues conference play. As we look at what's going on in the conference race last Tuesday, in addition to the Vikings topping the Boyceville Bulldogs in overtime 65-62, the Elk Mound Mounders were defeated by the Durand, Arkansas Panthers 48-30. Meanwhile, the Spring Valley Cardinals topped the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 60-33, and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves were nipped by the Mondovi Buffaloes 47-46. That leaves the Dunn St. Croix Conference standings as follows. Tied for first place with 2-0 records are the Durand, Arkansas Panthers and the Spring Valley Cardinals. Tied for third place at 1-1 and one game behind the leaders are the Elk Mound Mounders, the Colfax Vikings, the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, and the Mondovi Buffaloes. And in a tie for seventh place at 0-2 and two games off the pace are the Boyceville Bulldogs and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Tonight in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, in addition to the Vikings taking on the Spring Valley Cardinals, we find the Elk Mound Mounders hosting the Boyceville Bulldogs. The Elmwood Plum City Wolves duel with the Durand, Arkansas Panthers in Elmwood, and the Mondovi Buffaloes are traveling to Glenwood City to face the Hilltoppers. Tonight, the Vikings are getting ready to take on the unbeaten in the conference, Spring Valley Cardinals. Now, this game will help determine whether the Vikings are ready to run with the leaders in the conference race. Now, last season, the Vikings and the Cardinals faced each other twice, with the Cardinals coming out on top both times. Now, so far this year, Spring Valley is averaging 50 points per game while giving up 41. On the other hand, the Vikings are averaging 50 points per game while giving up 68. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV. So in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Spring Valley Cardinals. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because
I felt like a failure.
and then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Viking Boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned, coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Colfax Viking Boys Basketball is on the air.
He'll pass it out to Blake Johnson. He'll take the shot for three. Vikings.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN2, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Boys Basketball. Springer,
Down inside to Hoffman. He'll drive the right side of the lane, pop it up from 6. Good.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dunn St. Croix Conference.
Charlo out to Ensminger for 3. He hits it.
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking Basketball.
Good evening and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson with you along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera, and we're getting ready to bring you the Colfax Vikings taking on the always powerful Spring Valley Cardinals in a pretty important battle for the Vikings that'll show whether they're really something to contend with this season or not, because the Cardinals always are. Earlier this evening in the junior varsity game, the Vikings had some things to crow about. They built a 34-11 halftime lead, and the final score of the JV game was the Vikings 59 and Spring Valley 20. But now it's time for varsity basketball, and Dan, why don't you let us know who's going to be playing in this game?
Yeah, here's the starters for Spring Valley. They're going to go 6-foot junior, number 2, Kate Stasek. 5'10 junior, number 5, Trevor Forster. 5'10 senior, number 25, Diego Schmidt. 5'10 senior, number 32, Jamison Bauer. 6'6 junior, number 34, Mason Wolf. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go with 5'11 junior, number 4, Aiden Fisher. 5'9 senior, number 10, Elijah Ensminger. 5'10 senior, number 15, Mason Yarrington. 6' senior, number 23, Blake Johnson. And 6'3 senior, number 33, Eli Ralph.
And I would be very amiss if I didn't mention we do have a special surprise guest coming up at halftime. We'll have our regular Viking profile interview, which today is Logan Swartz. But then we have a special guest coming at halftime that's going to chat with us for a couple of minutes as well. And I think you're going to enjoy that. And parents, gather the kids around the TV. They're going to want to see this one. But we have Viking basketball coming up in just a few minutes. And why don't we take a quick time out as we get ready for this one on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Austin and Nikki Pritchard are just what the doctor ordered. In fact, they are the doctors and they're ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
And welcome back to Colfax High School, where we're getting ready to have the Vikings take on the Spring Valley Cardinals. Dan, what have you noticed about the Cardinals?
Yeah, they got 4 guys that can shoot the ball pretty good. They're going to have to, Colfax is going to have to make sure they keep Mason Wolf kind of out off the block. I think if they keep him out there and search up their defenses a little bit. We saw that last game. They play a little man-to-man, a little 2-3, a little 1-3-1, and it threw the other team off quite a bit. And we also saw that up in Bloomer, too, so on defense, that'd be pretty good.
Okay, and the Vikings, they had some players step up in that big overtime win over the Boyceville Bulldogs last week, and especially Eli Ralph was starting to make his presence known under the basket. Blake Johnson playing really tough on defense and showing some signs of maybe finding his shot on offense. And Mason Yarrington looked like he was starting to find the range from three-point land.
Yeah, I think the boys are starting to figure it out, where they're supposed to be and where to find each other. That makes, if they can find Eli Ralph down there, that opens up the outside. And then we saw Mason Arrington getting some open looks.
And, of course, if Mason and Elijah start hitting those three-pointers, that's going to open up the underneath for Eli. So it's complementary basketball.
Yeah, and with their general out there right now, Elijah Ensminger, if they do get in a little trouble, they know they can put it in his hands and he'll go get some points.
Well, teams are gathering back over on their benches. We're going to send it down to the public address announcer, Mike Hodel, as we're going to get ready for our national anthem and then the player introductions from Mr. Hodel. And let's do that at this time.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Would everyone please stand if able, remove your hats and place your hand over your heart onto the flag as the national anthem is played. Welcome to Colfax High School for tonight's Dunn St. Croix Boys Basketball matchup between the Spring Valley Cardinals and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Cardinals, number 2, junior, Paige Zasek. Number 5, junior, Trevor Forster. Number 25, senior, Diego Schmidt. Number 32, senior, Jason Bauer. And number 34, junior, Mason Holt. The Cardinals are led by head coach Rob also. And now the starting line for your Colfax Vikings. Now the 6'2", number 4, Hayden Fisher. At number 5'9", senior, 10, Elijah Ensminger. At guard 6', senior, number 15, Mason Arrington. At guard 6', senior, number 23, Drake Johnson. Over 6'3", shooting for the Greek Eli.
And so there's the starting lineups, courtesy of Colfax High School Athletic Director Mike Hodel. And we'll repeat those for you for the Spring Valley Cardinals. Stasek, Forster, Schmidt, Bauer, and Wolf. And Wolf will be jumping center. And Just like we had Kaiser in the game against Boyceville, who was, as Coach called him, a man-child, just a huge specimen out there. This Mason Wolf is no slouch either. And for the Vikings, it's Fisher, Ensminger, Yarrington, Johnson, and Ralph. Ralph jumping center against Wolf. And the ball goes up, and there's the tip. It's controlled by Spring Valley, and Stashik has it across the timeline. He double-teamed out there, passed it over to the right side, and then down in the corner to Forrester. Now they get it over to Stashik on the left. Back out high, that's to Bauer. And down to Stashik from three, and he hit the three-pointer. Cade Stashik with three. He shoots about 31% from three-point land. Fisher with the ball for the Vikings on the left side, feeds it over to Johnson. Johnson into the lane to Ralph. Ralph turns around, puts it up and in. 3-2, Spring Valley on top. Just underway. Pass comes over to Forster, brings it across the timeline. Forster feeds it over to Bauer. Bauer to Stashik. Stashik out between the circles. Gets it to Schmidt. Then shot goes up and in by Bauer. Makes it 5-2. Spring Valley on top. And Sminger dribbles it over to the right side to Yarrington. Puts up the three off the back of the iron. Rebound taken down by Wolf to Stashik. Stashik has it, gets it to the free throw line to Bauer. Then underneath to Forster, and the shot got blocked, and the Vikings come down the floor. And Sminger with it out at the top of the key. Takes it over to the left side. Jump shot is good. From the elbow. 5-4. Spring Valley up by 1. Bauer with it. He gets it over to Schmidt. Back to Bauer. Bauer gets it across the timeline to Stashik. Double teamed out there, and the ball is loose. Saved in by Fisher, but picked up by Stashik. Puts up the three. It's no good. Follow-up shot by Schmidt is good. 7-4. Vikings with the ball on the left side. Ensminger to Fisher. Fisher at the top of the key. Drives into the lane. Lays it up. Puts it in. Dan, I'm noticing the Vikings are able to find some open lanes to get to the basket.
Yeah, this might be a high-scoring game.
Schmidt with it. Gets it to Bauer. Takes it across the timeline over to Stashik on the right side. Takes it up between the circles. To the free throw line to Bauer. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by Eli Ralph, and he gets it to Johnson. Over to Ensminger. Thought about the three. Takes it to the baseline. Puts it up, and the ball gets blocked out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Johnson looking to get it in. Long pass into Fisher. He's on the left side, takes it to the top of the key, into the lane, then out to Yarrington. Over to Ensminger, top of the key, now swings over to the left side. Back out high to Yarrington, to Fisher, three-pointer launched, it's off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Wolf, and here come the Cardinals down the floor. Forrester gets it to Stashik, lays it up and in. Cade Stashik.
He has 5 points.
9-6, Spring Valley on top. Ensminger loses the handle. It rolls off his foot and out of bounds. Spring Valley to have it. Stashik with it. Vikings putting on some full court pressure. Over to Bauer. To Schmidt. To Stashik in the forecourt. Feeds it down underneath, and they lay it up and in. And that was by Forster. Ensminger with it. Feeds it over to the right side to Yarrington. He gets it to Fisher, then to Johnson. Brings it back over to the right side. Now takes it to the top of the key, into the lane. Tries to put it up, partially blocked. It's out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Vikings trail by 5. Johnson gets it into Ensminger in the backcourt. Ensminger across the timeline. Takes it down the side of the lane, puts it up off the glass and in. A little bit of an off-balance layup, sort of, by Ensminger, and it went through 11-8. Vikings trail by 3.
4 points for him.
Diego Schmidt with it. Feeds it to Bauer to Wolf, who lays it up, no good. Rebound blocked by Fisher, and they're going to call a jump ball. Fisher forced him back down to the floor with the ball in his hands. That was a heck of a play by Aiden Fisher.
Yeah, for some reason, Colfax is losing Wolf right now. You got to make sure they keep a body on him.
Ensminger with it, takes it over to the left side, over to Fisher at the top of the key. Puts a jumper from the elbow, no good. Rebound chased down by Johnson. Over to Ensminger, high, wide, and left. Takes it to the top of the key. Passes down into the right corner to Fisher. Fisher out to Ensminger. Ensminger takes it to the free throw line, puts the shot up, no good. Ralph with the rebound, gets it out to Fisher. 3-pointer on the way, no. Rebound taken down by Johnson. Ball's loose on the floor, picked up by Stashik. He feeds it over to Schmidt. Schmidt over into the corner to Forster, and he put it in for 3.
5 points for Forster.
Trevor Forster with a 3-pointer. Ensminger with it. 14-8. Spring Valley up by 6. Yarrington over to Ensminger on the left side. Takes it into the lane, puts it up, it goes in. 14-10. Cade Stashik with it. Now they get it to Schmidt. Cross lane pass to Wolf. His shot is blocked, and they're going to get Fisher with a foul. I think they're going to say he got part of the hand on the block there. Dan's grimacing with that one.
Oh, man, from up here, it looked like all ball.
We don't have as good a view, though. So Mason Wolf at the line. Free throws up and good. Elijah Poulin is in for Spring Valley, and we have Ryan Nichols and Theo Hovde in for the Vikings. Wolf's second shot is up. Off the back of the iron, no good. I guess that was a good foul for the Vikings. Down the floor comes Ensminger on the left side, pulls up. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound in the land of the Giants by Hovde. Gets it out to Ensminger, to Fisher, back to Ensminger over on the left side. Ensminger trying to bring it out high to Fisher, still working the left side to Ensminger. He takes it out between the circles. Takes it down the left side to Fisher, 3-pointer. He hit the 3!
Yeah, patience.
Aiden Fisher with a 3-pointer.
5 points for him.
Wolf with it, hooks it up, and it goes in for Spring Valley. 16-13. Spring Valley by 3. Ensminger with it between the circles, takes it down the right side of the lane, gets it out to Fisher for 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Wolf.
That was a good look by Fisher.
He gets it over to Stashik. Stashik across the timeline, being guarded by Hovde. Takes it into the lane. Lost the handle, but gets the pass out, and that pass was to Bauer, who put it up and in from 3. 19-13, Spring Valley back up by 6.
5 points for Bauer.
10:47 to go. Ensminger tries to feed it to Ralph, but the pass was tipped. I think Wolf got a finger on it, and it went out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Wolf takes a seat. Coming into the lineup is Elijah Haug for Spring Valley.
And Logan Schwartzen for Colfax.
Inbound pass is high out to Ensminger on the left side. Takes it down the right side of the lane to Hovde. Back out high to Nichols. Over to Fisher, three-pointer off the iron, no good. Rebound being fought for, and a jump ball being called. And Spring Valley will have the possession arrow.
Yeah, if Logan Schwartz could get in the spot, he could get some good shots right now.
And we have a timeout on the floor. So with a timeout at Spring Valley 19, Vikings 13. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Back here at Colfax High School. Spring Valley with a 19-13 lead over the Vikings, 10:23 remaining. Cardinals with the ball. Bauer takes it across the timeline. Feeds it down to the lane to Haug. Then over to Stashik, out to Bauer from the top of the key. Puts it up, in and out, no good. Rebound taken down by Schwartz. He's going to be our Viking profile player today at halftime. Elijah Ensminger on the dribble on the left side. Down to the baseline. Now looks out high to Fisher. He's got it between the circles. Over to Ensminger. Ensminger takes it from the right elbow. Shot goes up, no good. Schwartz got a hand on it, but then lost his feet, and the ball went over to Spring Valley. Bauer across the timeline. Then to Stashik, nearly an over and back. Now they get it out to Stashik, and he puts up the three. It's no good. Hovde with the rebound, gets it to Fisher, heading into the lane. Tries to get it over to Ensminger. Pass is intercepted by Stashik. Stashik across the timeline. Cade Stashik gets it to Haug. Back out to Stashik, down underneath. That's Schmidt. Then they get it out to Bauer. Shot's no good. We have a whistle and a foul. And I think it's going to be on Diego Schmidt. It is. First foul on Spring Valley. Forster and Wolf are back into the lineup for Spring Valley. Hovde into Ensminger as he'll bring it down the floor. Ensminger gets it over to Johnson on the left side. Johnson at the top of the key, over to Hovde. High, wide, and right. Takes it to the top of the key, over to Ensminger. Thought about the three, didn't take it. Now he drives, shoots from the free throw line. It's up, and it crawls in. 19-15, Vikings down by 4.
8 points for Ensminger.
Spring Valley with it. That was Poulin. Gets it over to Stashik. Stashik over to Forster. High, wide, and right. Back over to Bauer on the left side. To Poulin. Poulin down into the left corner. Stashik with a shot. He hit the three.
8 points for him.
22-15. Spring Valley by 7. Ensminger takes it into the lane, lays it up, and he gets it to go. Elijah Ensminger has 10. Bauer with it. Gets it over to Forrester. Back to Bauer in the forecourt. Stashik from the right elbow puts it up. It's no good. Rebound. It's out of bounds. Viking ball. And Sminger between the circles takes it to the left. Feeds it over to Johnson. He puts up a three off the back of the air, no good. Rebound tipped around, and Hovde takes it, gets it to Johnson. It goes in, and he got fouled. I believe the foul is going to be on Elijah Poulin. It is. That'll be the first foul on Poulin, second team foul on Spring Valley.
I swear, Hovde comes off the bench and he'll get shots. He gets the rebounds and outworks everybody.
Hovde is the smallest guy on the floor, and he's down there in the land of the Giants, and lo and behold, he comes away with the ball more often than not. Here's Johnson's free throw. It's up. It's off the front of the iron. No good. Gets his own rebound to Yarrington at the top of the key. Gets it down in the corner to Nichols. Then out to Ensminger on the left side. Back down to Nichols down in the left corner. Drives the baseline. Gets it out to Ralph. Over to Ensminger. Ensminger back out to Ralph. And Ralph with a three-pointer off the iron. No good. Rebound taken down by Poulin. He gets it to Forster. Or check that. That's Stashik. Stashik takes it into the lane. Feeds it to Wolf. His shot goes up. It's no good. But he got fouled. I think it's on Orion Nichols. Nope. It's on Eli Ralph. First foul on Ralph. Second team foul on the Vikings.
Yeah, he came over from the weak side and just was a little late. Drew the foul.
Mason Wolf, 6'6" junior. First shot is up. That one's good. 23-19. 4-point lead for the Cardinals. Second shot is on the way, and it's also good.
4 points for Mason Wolf.
Ensminger across the timeline, feeds it down to Nichols. Takes it into the lane, puts it up for Ryan Nichols, puts it home. Cuts the lead to 3. 6:30 to go in the first half. Cardinals bring it down the floor. This is Haug with it. Out to Stashik. Over to the free throw line to Forster. Now they feed it over to the left side, back to Forster in the lane to Wolf. He tries to lay it up. He got fouled going up.
I would guess it'll be on Eli Ralph. It's not.
No, it's on Orion Nichols. It's the first foul on Nichols, third team foul on the Vikings, and Mason Wolf back at the line. Shot is up. That one's no good. He's 2 for 5. Takes his deep breath. Launches a second shot. That one rattles home. 25-21. 4-point game. Elijah Ensminger with it between the circles. Feeds it to Nichols on the right elbow. And he walked with it that time. That wasn't even a Euro step that time, Dan.
Yeah, he just couldn't get around Wolf.
So the Cardinals have it. The ball gets tipped away, and here comes Yarrington. And he was going to go to the hole with it and tried to do a little bit of a wraparound layup. And Trevor Forster caught the ball. Well, we'll be polite about this.
Yeah, Mason Yarrington thought he was going to have a free ride to the hole there, and all of a sudden, Trevor Forster sealed that off.
It's called taking one for the team.
Yeah.
Blake Johnson to inbound for the Vikings. Gets it to Ralph. Turnaround shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Bauer to Stashik. Stashik is across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he was expecting number 25, Diego Schmidt, to be there. And he didn't come back for the ball.
Either that or how broke when I don't think he expected him to break. At any rate, it went out of bounds, and the Vikings have it. Ensminger feeds it over to the left side to Fisher. That's at the top of the key to Yarrington. Back to the left to Fisher. Back out high left to Yarrington. Takes it to the left wing. Still on the dribble to Johnson. To Eli Ralph. Drives to the lane. Kicks it out to Fisher. Then to Yarrington from three-point land off the back of the iron. No good. Bauer with the rebound, gets it to Stashik. Stashik, they get it down in the corner to Haug. Back out high to Stashik, to the top of the key. To Bauer on the near side. To Wolf. then out to Haug. Shot goes up by Schmidt, it's no good. Wolf tries to put it up, it's no good. Wolf and Johnson battling for it and goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. It'll be Spring Valley ball. 25-21, 4:44 remaining in the first half. Pass comes into Haug, his long three-pointer's no good, and the rebound comes down to the Vikings. Ensminger with it, takes it into the lane, puts a shot up. It was partially blocked, still almost went in. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Stashik feeds it to Schmidt, then out to Bauer, and his shot is no good. Wolf puts it back up, it doesn't go. Haug puts it back up, and he got fouled.
Oh, Eli Ralph.
That's 2 fouls on Ralph. Shot goes up. No good. Elijah Haug at the line. And the second shot is up and no good. Johnson with the rebound. Tries to get it to Ensminger. It's intercepted by Stashik and feeds it over to Schmidt, who lays it up and in. 27-21. Lead back up to 6 for Spring Valley. 4 minutes remaining in the half. Ensminger with it between the circles. Takes it down the right side of the lane. Feeds it back over to Ralph. Puts up a jumper and it's good. An 8-foot jump shot by Eli Ralph. They get it to Schmidt on the left side for the Cardinals. Feeds it down to the left baseline to Stashik. Stashik looking for somewhere to go. Double team down there. They get it back to Schmidt. Puts a shot up and it's blocked. And the Vikings come away with it. Johnson on the dribble. Feeds it over to Fisher. Fisher takes it down the right side of the lane to Yarrington. Back to Ralph. Three-pointer on the way off the back of the iron. No good. Stashik with the rebound. He feeds it to the free throw line to Schmidt. Then out to Bauer from 3. No. Rebound taken out of there by Ensminger. Ensminger feeds it over to Johnson between the circles. Takes it to the left side. Hands it off to Ensminger. Ensminger on the dribble. Picked up by Stashik. To Johnson. Back out to Ensminger. Ensminger spins. Takes it down into the lane. Loses the handle. Gets it to Johnson. And off the leg of Diego Schmidt, I believe. It'll be Viking ball. Down on the baseline. And we have a timeout being called. So with a timeout on the floor, you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we have a Viking profile. And today's Viking profile will be Logan Swartz. And then we have a very special guest coming to talk with us at halftime as well. Yarrington feeds it in to Ensminger. Ensminger back out to Yarrington, high, wide, and right. Directing a little bit of traffic. Takes it to the top of the key over to Fisher on the left side. Fisher on the dribble. And we're going to get a foul, and it's a foul being called on Blake Johnson.
Yeah.
And Coach Knoll can't believe that call because I think Johnson was actually shoved into the defensive player by another Spring Valley player.
Yeah, he was trying to do that little pick and roll right there, and he just got caught moving maybe a little too early.
So anyway, the Vikings full court pressure on Spring Valley as they bring it down the floor. Forrester feeds it to Schmidt on the right side, drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Johnson with a rebound. And down the floor come the Vikings. By the way, that was the first foul on Johnson, that offensive foul. Lost the handle on the ball, and here comes Spring Valley back down the floor. Under 2 minutes to go. Stashik with it on the left side. Gets it over to Bauer. Cross-court pass to Forster. Back out high to Poulin. Poulin over to Bauer. Shot goes up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Stashik and puts it up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Fisher. And the Vikings bring the ball down the floor with Ensminger on the dribble. On the left side to Ralph. Over to Johnson. To Ensminger. Ensminger to Ralph. Ralph puts it up. It's no good. Whistle and jump ball being called. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. 27-23. Spring Valley on top. Johnson inbound the ball. Pass goes in to Fisher. Puts a jump shot up and in.
Aiden Fisher with 7 points.
From the left baseline, he made that work. Stashik with it. On the left side. He's high, wide, and left. Double teamed out there. Feeds it over to Bauer. To Forster, puts up a three. No, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Spring Valley. 27-25, Spring Valley by 2. Vikings looking to tie it up right here, or maybe even take a lead. Ensminger with the ball across the timeline. Ball gets tipped out of bounds by Stashik. So it'll still be Viking ball. Yarrington to inbound for the Vikings. Ensminger has it. He takes it between the circles. On the right side of the lane, lays it up. It does not go. Rebound by Stashik. Stashik takes it right down the lane, feeds it off to Poulin and puts it in. 29-25, 25 seconds remaining. Fisher, high, wide, and right. Still on the dribble. Takes it down the right side of the lane, lays it up. No, put back shot by Eli Ralph is good. And we have a traveling call being called on Spring Valley. Little bit of a collision down there on the floor, but Spring Valley gets called for the travel. So with just under 4 seconds remaining, Vikings will have it. See what kind of last second shot they can work out here. Ball comes out to Fisher, long shot, no good. Rebound, out of bounds, and we have reached halftime. Spring Valley Cardinals 29, Vikings 27. We have Viking halftime coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Time now for Viking halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Hey, boss. Okay?
I said I'm fine.
See you in the morning with the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it, and we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really hard for me.
time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Logan Swartz, a junior here at Colfax High School. And Logan, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Yes, I'm involved with cross country and track.
Okay, and how'd the cross country season go for you?
Pretty good. I started off running better than I usually do and got a PR by the end of the year, so that was nice.
There you go. There you go. PRs are always fun to see. When did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I started back in 4th grade, and I have no regrets. So.
Okay, what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Discipline, definitely.
Okay. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Just sitting around at home, kind of relaxing whenever I can, just with sports all week, and then a weekend to.
You need to chill a little.
Yep, just a little bit.
Okay, got some rapid fire questions for you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cake.
Cake, what kind?
Vanilla.
Okay. Any particular frosting on that, or?
No.
Just a vanilla cake?
Yep.
All right. Hot dog, burger, or brats?
Burger.
What do you want on that burger?
Mustard and ketchup.
Just a basic burger?
Yep.
Okay. Favorite color?
Green.
Is there a reason for that?
No, not in particular.
Just like green?
Yep.
Okay. So if you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be?
Strength.
Super strength, okay. Now, if you have super strength for a superpower, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Logan's superhero name?
Mountain.
Mountain. Okay. Look out, here comes Mountain. All right. Favorite NBA team?
Bucks.
Okay, how about collegiate team?
I don't really have one.
Don't really have one. Okay. Is there a basketball player who has inspired the way you play your game? That can either be from the pros, through college, through high school, anything.
The Greek freak, Giannis.
Giannis? Okay, he plays a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're talking with Logan Swartz today on Viking Profile. And Logan, what are your plans for after high school?
Not 100% sure, but we'll kind of see how it goes.
Okay. All right. You still got time to make decisions about that. How about a shout out to the family?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
All right. When people come to Viking games, where are they going to find you on the floor? As if I couldn't tell just from this.
Number 44, hopefully.
And under the hoop?
Yep.
Pretty much down in the paint, making
dunking
things
on
happen.
Everybody. Hopefully dunking on everybody.
There we go. We want to thank Logan Swartz for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
At halftime, we have a special guest. He came all the way down from the North Pole. He's been making I guess they're training runs for the reindeer. Is that right?
Yep, training runs for reindeer. They got a little heavy over the summer, and they got to work some weight off.
Well, because they've got a pretty big trip coming up in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's only 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, now, Santa, I know this is a really busy time. It's hard to get away from the North Pole. The elves are really busy working on things up there, and you got to keep an eye on them because sometimes, they like to take breaks too, like we all do.
They do.
But now that you're down in this area, what have you been doing?
Well, just watching the kids, making sure they're good, and going to a lot of Christmas programs to watch the kids, and I hand out candy canes, and the kids want some, and just watching everybody.
Now, of course, everybody who gets interviewed by me gets this question asked to them. Santa, first thing that comes into your mind, pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
I gotta say cookies, and because that's what all the kids leave me.
And so your favorite cookie would be whatever they leave?
Yep, anything they leave, I'll eat it.
Now, which ones do the reindeers like? Because I hear rumors that you share them with the reindeer.
Well, they like them oatmeal cookies.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah. So they got me on a diet now. I gotta really watch them because they don't take off as fast as they should.
Well, and they aren't as young as they used to be either.
Well, no, but neither am I.
Okay. Well, Santa, I'm going to let you get back because I know you got to get back up to the North Pole and make sure that those elves are doing what they're supposed to and the reindeer get plenty of rest. But enjoy the rest of this basketball game because I think we've got a good one here tonight.
I got it thinking it's a barn burner here today.
Well, let's not burn down any reindeer barns.
No, we won't.
Thank you for joining us today, Santa. And coming up, we will have second half action on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Spring Valley Cardinals hold a 29-27 lead over the Colfax Vikings. Dan, that was a lot of fun getting a chance to chat with the jolly old elf and
yeah, made me sit up a little straighter.
Absolutely, you better. And while you're sitting up straight, why don't you tell us how we got to that 29-27 score?
Here's the scores right now for the Spring Valley Cardinals. Their leaders right now are Cade Stasek, he has 8 points. Followed by Trevor Forster, he has 5. Elijah Pullen has 2. Diego Schmidt has 4. Jamison Bauer has 5. And Mason Wolf has 5. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led right now by number 10, Elijah Ensminger. He has 10 points. Followed by Aiden Fisher, he has 7. Levi Ralph has 6. We have Orion Nichols with 2 and Blake Johnson with 2. 29-27.
And the Vikings have been scoring from inside and outside. They're making both games work. They're staying right in this. In a game that a lot of people weren't giving the Vikings much chance of being able to hang in there against Spring Valley Cardinals. And lo and behold, they're hanging in there pretty tough. And so I think we're in for a real barn burner in the second half.
Yeah. They have done a pretty good job on Wolf in the first part of the first half. Kind of slipped in there in the second part and got some easy points. And they're trying to double team and using Eli Ralph, and he's got to slide over from the weak side, and he's been a little slow. So hopefully they can get that figured out in the second half.
And we'll be back with second half action right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
And they're trying to get it fixed right now, but some of the lights went out here in the gym at Colfax.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. They're kind of coming on and wow.
And Colfax High School Principal John Dockel is down at the light switch. He's working on it, and Vikings are back out on the floor. You can see the dark corner in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. That's where the lights aren't working. Boy, they've even put Santa to work moving the basketballs out of the gym. Don't be surprised if he doesn't deliver a few of those at Christmas time. Well,
that's even better.
Midnight basketball.
The scoreboard's kind of cool, or the backboard's kind of cool.
And the backboard to our left is still lit. Well, because the clock is at 0. They have not reset the scoreboard. Now the lights are back up. Now let's see if we can get the scoreboard set for 18 minutes, and we'll be able to play the second half of this game. Spring Valley is going to have the ball to start the second half. There, the scoreboard is set. Forster to inbound. He's going to get it into Stashik, and Stashik has it in the backcourt. Picked up by Ansminger. Comes across the timeline over to Forster on the right side. Forster takes it between the circles over to Stashik. Stashik to Schmidt. Over to Forster on the right wing. Gets it to Stashik. Over to Schmidt down the left side of the lane. Looking for somewhere to go. Gets it out to Bauer. Over to Forster. Forster over to Schmidt on the left side. To Stashik at the top of the key. Out to Forster from 3. No, and
you got a foul?
Evidently, we're going to get a foul on Spring Valley. It's the first foul on Spring Valley, and the foul is on Diego Schmidt. It's his second. Ensminger with the ball for the Vikings. Comes across the timeline. Gets it out to Fisher between the circles over to Johnson on the right side. Johnson to Ensminger on the left. He's high, wide, and left. Spins, gets it over to Fisher, back out to Ensminger. Ensminger takes it back out high. Over to Yarrington. Yarrington back to the top of the key to Ensminger from the right wing. Ensminger takes it down to the baseline, puts it up, nothing there. A lot of traffic. Ensminger ended on the floor, and the Cardinals ended up with the ball. Coming down the floor, they have Schmidt driving into the lane, puts it up, it's no good. Ralph with it, gets it to Johnson. Here come the Vikings. Johnson pulls up a three-pointer. He hit the three, and the Vikings take the lead, 30-29. Stashik gets it over to Forrester. To Schmidt at the top of the key. To Forrester on the left side. To Wolf down along the left baseline. Puts it up, no good. Rebound, tied up down there. Fisher tied up Schmidt, and we get a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. So Blake Johnson to inbound. He gets it to Ensminger, who brings it down across the timeline. Over to the right side. Feeds it to Johnson. Out to Ralph from the free throw line. Back out to Johnson from 3. Over to Ensminger. High, wide, and right. Comes down the right wing. Now takes it back around to the left side to Yarrington. Yarrington takes it out high. He's high, wide, and left. Between the circles now. Over to Fisher on the right side. Vikings being patient. Fisher trying to drive down the lane, lays it up. No, rebound tipped around. Stashik coming away with it. Stashik on the dribble. Tries to drive into the lane, gets it to Schmidt, puts it up, and it doesn't go. Rebound, fought for underneath there, and the shot gets blocked, and they're going to say a foul on Ensminger as Wolf was trying to go back up with it. Ensminger knew it when it happened. Got him with the body.
No, they
I'll
didn't.
tell you what.
They didn't get Ensminger.
They didn't get Ensminger. No, they got Eli Ralph.
Yeah, I thought for sure it would be Ensminger.
I was going to say, Ensminger almost had to foul him to get that block.
That's his third.
Just under 15 minutes remaining. Wolf's first shot was no good. Second shot on the way. That one's good. So we're tied at 30. And Sminger on the dribble, comes across the timeline. Takes it over to the right side to Fisher. Fisher down to the side of the lane, but it gets taken away by Stashik. Takes it down the lane, and ball gets taken away, but a foul being called on Fisher as he took it away from Stashik. They're going to say he got him in the arm.
Going to send him to the line for that one.
And they're saying he was shooting?
Yeah.
Okay. First shot is good by Cade Stashik. Spring Valley back up by 1. Mark Knowles questioning whether that was a shooting foul. Second shot on the way. That one's no good. Rebound tipped. It's out of bounds. They're saying off of Johnson. So it'll be Spring Valley ball under their own basket. Stashik to inbound. Gets it into Schmidt. Drives in. Puts it up, and it goes in. 33-30. Spring Valley on top.
A good move by Schmidt.
And Sminger on the dribble. Between the circles. Hands it off to Fisher. Coming back over to the right side. To Johnson. Drives into the lane. Ball gets tipped out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Under their own basket. Johnson to inbound. He feeds it into Fisher. Over to Ensminger. Ensminger over to the right side to Johnson. To Yarrington, to Fisher between the circles. Back over to the right side to Johnson. Drives into the lane. All the way through the lane to the left side. And circles back around to the right side. Over to Yarrington on between the circles. Then to Johnson on the right wing. Johnson to Fisher at the top of the key. Taking it down the right side. Out to Yarrington. Thought about a three, didn't take it. Thought again at the top of the key, didn't take it. Now they get it to Eli Ralph. Trying to go up. Wolf had him pretty well covered. He gets it out to Fisher. Fisher to Johnson. Johnson down along the baseline. Gets it to Yarrington to Ensminger. Launches a three. No! Rebound chased down by Johnson. And he saves it in and off the legs of Schmidt. It went out of bounds after Johnson threw it off Schmidt's legs, so it'll be Viking ball.
Yeah, that was good patience by Colfax to get a good shot.
And Sminger takes it right down the lane, tries to lay it up, gets it over to Ralph, then out to Yarrington, three-pointer on the way off the back of the air, no good. Rebound, and a lot of crashing down there, went out of bounds. Last touch by Spring Valley. 33-30. 13-13 remaining. Johnson looking to get it into Fisher. Fisher puts it up, he puts it in.
And Fisher with 9 points.
Forster with it on the right side. Now they get it to Wolf. Then over to the left side of the baseline to Schmidt, who lays it up and in.
Diego Schmidt with 8 points.
And Sminger gets it to Yarrington on the right side. Over to the left side to Fisher. Fisher over to Ensminger. Ensminger swinging it back around. To Fisher on the left. Back to Ensminger between the circles. To Fisher from the lane. Spins. Tries to get it to Ralph, and it's off his hands and out of bounds. And we've got a timeout on the floor with Spring Valley on top 35-32. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2 and Viking TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining?
Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Back here at Colfax High School, Rick Olson, Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera as we're getting ready to continue second half action. Spring Valley 35, Vikings 32. 12:22 remaining in this game. And dare I say it, in regulation. Cardinals feed it to the free throw line to Bauer. He gets it over to Haug, who puts it up no good. Rebound by Wolf, and he puts it up and off the glass and in. I'll check that was Poulin, and then to Wolf. Wolf did score the basket. Ensminger on the dribble. Hands it off to Johnson. Johnson over to the left side, gets it to Fisher. Vikings trail by 5. Pass was intended for Ensminger. Ensminger wasn't where they thought he was going to be. So Spring Valley has the ball. Cade Stashik on the dribble. Feeding it over to the right side to Forster. To Stashik between the circles. Spins at the top of the key. Gets it over to Poulin. Then to Forster. Back to Poulin. Back to Forster. Back to Poulin from the left side. Three-pointer on the way, and it's good. 40-32, 8-point lead for Spring Valley. I believe that's their largest lead of the night. Fisher with it on the left side, gets it to Johnson. Back out high to Ralph. Ralph feeds it to Ensminger, waits for traffic, put it up off the side of the glass. He thought he got fouled. Ball comes down and shot goes up, it's no good. Put back by Wolf is good. 42-32, Vikings down by 10. Ensminger, high, wide, and right. Feeds it over to Yarrington on the left. Hands it off to Fisher. Fisher taking it back out high. From the free throw line, gets it over to Yarrington on the right side. To Fisher, launches a three. He hit the three! 42-35.
12 points for Fisher.
Forster with the ball, high, wide, and right for Spring Valley. Gets it to Poulin. Back over to Forster, puts up a three. It's no good. Rebound and out of bounds. And wait a minute, we have a substitute coming in. Schmidt coming in. It's going to give Wolf a break.
Yeah, so now there'll be a mismatch down low to get it into Eli.
See if they can take advantage of that. Yarrington on the dribble. Gets it over to Fisher. Fisher over to the far side. Three-pointer goes in by Ensminger. Elijah Ensminger hits a three. We're back to a 4-point game, 42-38. 9:39 to go. Three-pointer by Poulin, and he hit it. Elijah Poulin, 8 points. And 6 of those are on back-to-back threes. Fisher with it for the Vikings. Over to Ensminger on the right side from the baseline, puts it up and hits it.
Elijah Ensminger is the smoothest shot on that team.
15 points for Ensminger. 45-40. They feed it into the lane. Cade Stashik with the layup and puts it in.
He has
Stashik.
11 points.
Yeah, he's very quietly gotten those 11 points. He handles the ball a lot. Just didn't seem like he took a lot of shots, but when he did, they went in. Vikings have it down along the baseline, goes through the hands of Johnson and out of bounds. Ryan Nichols into the game, along with Theo Hovde, giving Johnson and Yarrington a break. Vikings steal the ball from the Cardinals, and Spinger has it, feeds it into the lane. Fisher puts it up, no good. Whistle and a foul. Fisher's going to go to the line for 2. Foul is going to be on Poulin. It's his second team foul on the Cardinals. First shot is up and good. 47-41. Second shot by Fisher. That one's good. 47-42, 5-point game. Spring Valley brings it down the floor. Stashik with it in the center circle. Feeds it over to the right side to Forrester, back to Stashik, to Poulin at the free throw line. Back out to Stashik from 3. Off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down, and they're going to call a travel because Ralph went all the way to the floor with it. He kind of got tangled up with Orion Nichols that time. I don't think either one of them realized the other one had the ball. They couldn't keep their feet. So the ball comes in, and the shot goes up, and no good by Bauer. And the Vikings bring it down the floor. Fisher launches a 3. He hit the 3! Aiden Fisher with a 3-pointer. He's now the Viking leading scorer for the night with 17. Poulin with it on the right side. They feed it over to Forster, back out to Poulin. And we're going to get a foul on Fisher. Fisher kind of stumbled into Poulin that time. Third foul on the Vikings, third foul on Fisher.
Low fouls this game. We're only at 3 and 2.
47-45, it's a 2-point game. Spring Valley with the ball. Stashik with it. Gets it over to the right side to Bauer. Now a long pass over into the corner to Poulin, and it's going to be out of bounds. Fisher tried to bounce it off a Spring Valley player, but missed him, and the ball went out of bounds, so Spring Valley will retain possession. Stashik to inbound. Gets it in to Schmidt, puts the shot up, it goes in. Schmidt ended up on the floor, but the shot went in.
Yeah, tough shot for him.
49-45, 4-point game. Ensminger drives into the lane, lost the ball off Schmidt's hip. Gets picked up, Cardinals have it, Schmidt lays it up and puts it in. Nobody had control of that ball till Schmidt finally picked it up under the basket and laid it in.
12 points for him.
Ensminger gets it over to Fisher. Fisher at the top of the key, and we're going to get a foul called on Bauer. That's Bauer's first personal, third team foul on Spring Valley. Avdi gets it into Fisher. Fisher at the center circle. Now he moves up to between the circles. Takes it to the right side of the lane. Spins into the lane. Puts it up. No good. Rebound tipped around and taken away by Spring Valley. This is Stashik. Takes it down. Gets it over to Forrester. To Bauer from 3. Off the glass. No good. Wolf puts it up. He got fouled that time by Nichols. It's actually a pretty good foul by Nichols because otherwise he had an easy lay-in.
Yeah.
That's the second foul on Nichols, fourth team foul on the Vikings.
He's 4 for 8 from the line tonight.
First shot is up. No good. Second shot on the way, and that one's good. 5 for 10 for him, shooting 50%. 52-45, 7-point game right now. Vikings have the ball. Fisher drives into the lane, kicks it back out to Hovde. Then Nichols puts up a 3, no good. Schmidt with the rebound. Schmidt is very active on the boards. They get it to Forster, to Schmidt, then over into the left corner. Three-pointer on the way, no good by Bauer, and the Vikings come away with it. Ensminger takes it into the lane, pulls up, puts the shot up, no good. Ralph tries to get the handle on it, but it's taken away by Stashik. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Shot goes up by Bauer from the corner. No! That time Ralph gets the rebound and we get a foul called on Wolf.
It's only his first.
Nichols and Hugdy go out as Yarrington and Johnson come in for the Vikings. Vikings down by 7. And Sminger on the dribble. Feeds it over to the left side to Fisher. Fisher on the left wing. Back out high to Ralph. Puts up a 3. It won't go. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Stashik on the dribble. Comes across the timeline. Feeds it to the free throw line to Schmidt. Ball goes out of bounds, and it was off of Yarrington's hand. And so it'll be Spring Valley ball. And we get a timeout on the floor with 5:07 remaining. Spring Valley 52, the Vikings 45, as you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
We're back here at Colfax High School. Vikings trail by 7. 52-45. Spring Valley will have the ball. And what's been a pretty good ball game. Very physical. A lot of players hitting the floor after they shoot. Bauer inbounds it for the Cardinals to Stashik in the backcourt. He brings it across the timeline. Over to Forster, high, wide, and right. Cross-court pass over to Schmidt. Schmidt back over to Forster, puts up a 3. No, it's off the glass, and it's out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. They're going to say it was Wolf that touched it. And this Spring Valley coach, Bob Bussert, did not like that call. He thought it was off the Vikings. I think he might have had something to complain about there. Ensminger with it. Gets it to Yarrington between the circles. Over to Fisher, high, wide, and right. Takes it over to Ensminger. Thought about the 3, didn't take it. Feeds it over to Yarrington. Yarrington, top of the key. Over to Fisher. Fisher to Ensminger, but the ball got tipped away by Stashik. He takes it down, lays it up, and puts it in. 54-45. Cardinals up by 9. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining. Fisher on the dribble. Takes it down the right side of the lane, puts it up. No! Spring Valley comes away with it. Stashik on the dribble. Takes it into the lane, kicks it out to Forster on the right side. Forster over to Schmidt. He's over on the left. Feeds it down to Wolf on the left side. Out to Schmidt to Forster. Forster between the circles. 3.5 to go. Spring Valley not in any hurry. Gets it to Wolf. Turns around. Puts it up. Puts it in. 56-45, 11-point lead, largest lead of the night for Spring Valley. Johnson with it. It's it to Yarrington. Yarrington out to Ensminger. And we have a timeout being called by the Vikings. So with a timeout on the floor, you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
56-45, Spring Valley Cardinals with a lead over the Vikings with 3:07 remaining in this one. Vikings to inbound the ball. Theo Hovde to pass it in. Gets it into Fisher in the backcourt. Over to Ensminger, brings it across the timeline. To Yarrington, launches a three, no! Wolf gets the rebound, gets it to Stashik. Down the floor comes Stashik, taking his time across the timeline. Guarded by Ensminger, now he's double teamed. Tried to throw it over to the left side, it was loose, picked up by Forrester, then to Schmidt. Out to Stashik. Stashik drives to the lane, puts it up, blocked by Ralph. Feeds it to Yarrington. Yarrington gets it to Fisher, launches a three. No, it won't go. Rebound flying through there was Ensminger, but the Cardinals come away with it. Stashik with it, and we get a foul called on Yarrington. Vikings have some fouls to give.
Yeah, it's been a really low foul game.
They're letting them play. 15 foul on the Vikings. That was the first on Yarrington. Stashik on the dribble. Picked up, and we're going to get another foul on Yarrington. That's his second foul, sixth team foul. So after Spring Valley inbounds it, they will be in the bonus.
Yeah, they should foul right away here.
And, well, Yarrington tried to. Inbound pass came to Forster. Ball goes down to Bauer. He's double teamed. Gets it over to Forrester, high, wide, and right. Vikings are fighting for the ball. They're not getting the foul called. Out to Forrester, puts up a three, and he hit it.
Wow.
59-45, 14-point lead.
8 points for Forster.
Ensminger to Hovde, to Fisher. Takes it into the lane, tries to go up. Ball got knocked loose and out of bounds. Forster got his hand on it as Fisher tried to go to the hoop. And a timeout called. So with a timeout on the floor, you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLW2 and Viking TV.
Hi, I'm Crystal, one of Santa's elves. Santa wanted to talk with you about a special program coming up on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. But as you can see, he's pretty busy right now, so we better not disturb him, so I'll tell you what's up. A little earlier, Santa and I got together and picked out some of the very best holiday-themed old-time radio programs, and we're going to present them to you during Santa's flight on Christmas Eve. So tune in to the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service, or NLWN TV, while Santa and I bring you the best in old-time radio. It all starts at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I'll see you then.
Well, you could tell, Dan, by that image of Santa Claus in that last ad for our Christmas gift to you, that was an actor portraying Santa, because we had the real guy right here at halftime.
Yeah.
Ensminger launches a three, comes up a little bit short, whistle foul. And it's going to be a foul on Forster. And the Vikings are going to take another timeout. And we will take one as well, as you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2 and Viking TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 are excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School Boys Basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Tuesday, December 19th, when the Vikings will host the Cochran Fountain City Pirates. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking Pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 on Tuesday, December 19th.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV is excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season. Our next game will be on Saturday, December 16th, when the Vikings will travel to Hudson, Wisconsin to take on the Hudson Raiders. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking Pregame at 3 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV on Saturday, December 16th.
Back here at Colfax High School, Vikings to inbound the ball. Minute and a half to go. Vikings trail by 14. Pass comes into Ralph. Ralph drives to the free throw line, gets it out to Fisher, launches a three. No, Ralph with the rebound. Ball got taken away, but a foul called on Stashik, I believe.
Yeah, that's not what Spring Valley wants to do. They don't want to start giving these fouls to Colfax and get them to the line.
That's a sixth foul, so the Vikings will now be in the bonus. Ball comes into Ensminger. Drives into the lane, pulls up, puts the shot up. No, it goes in and out. Vikings can't buy a shot right now either. Coming up on a minute remaining. Stashik with it. Ball down into the corner to Forster. Back out high to Bauer. Under a minute to go. Bauer over to Wolf. To Stashik. Spring Valley just running the clock right now. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Yarrington. It's going to put Stashik at the line for the 1-on-1. That's the third foul on Yarrington. Seventh team foul on the Vikings. Spring Valley comes off the line. Shot goes up, it's no good. Vikings with the rebound. Down the floor comes Fisher to Ensminger, to Yarrington, to Ensminger from the right corner. Shot's no good. That was the left corner. And the ball's loose on the floor, and we're going to get a whistle.
Jump ball. Timeout.
And the Vikings call a timeout with 34.4 seconds remaining on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Spring Valley inbounds the ball. This is Bauer with it, closely guarded by Hovde. Leads it over to Schmidt. Schmidt to Stashik. Stashik on the dribble. 15 seconds remaining to Bauer. He's got 12 seconds. Leads it over to Stashik. 5 seconds to go, shaking hands. This one's in the books. Final score, The Spring Valley Cardinals 59 and the Vikings 45 in a game that was much closer than that score indicates. And we'll have a summary of all that coming up right after this timeout when we get to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 and Viking TV.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in part or in whole in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame with a look back at today's game.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson, Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera, and getting ready to join us, as Ann would say, he's running for mayor still, is Martineau and Coach. That game was a whole lot closer than that final score indicates. That was a pretty good ball game.
Yeah, it was. It was a good high school basketball game. It was fun to actually play on a Friday night with a nice crowd here at Colfax. You know, more power to Spring Valley. They executed a little bit better than we did in the second half. That's something that I told our guys that we're going to learn from this, and that's kind of what we're doing, right? You guys have seen improvement.
And we've been talking about that too, how this is a work in progress.
Yeah, and I think we had improvement tonight because that's a solid team that's beating some teams by 20 plus points. So with that said, we're coming. We're coming.
You know, you guys gave them everything they could handle. That you took a briefly held lead in the second half and battled with them. It was just a handful of points through most of the game, back and forth, and you played right with them. And it was just down the stretch. Your guys kind of went cold.
Yeah, it was an executing thing, you know, and more power to Spring Valley. You know, they play a really good defense. They play a great pack line defense, it's called, and we just got to knock down a few more shots and get a little stronger with the ball. We had some turnovers that were what I call my bad turnovers, which you can't have my bad turnovers.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to be stronger with the ball, and part of it is we're still learning. We're still growing about what our roles are.
I saw some improvement with both Eli Ralph down underneath and Logan Swartz, where they had good body position. And against Mason Wolf, there wasn't enough of them to keep him from doing what he does.
Yeah, there's not enough donuts in Colfax.
I think you're right. We need a good donut.
They need to go to lunch with Coach Knoll more.
There you go. I like Coach Knoll's training plans.
And that's no disrespect, right?
Right, absolutely.
You know, they've got some big, strong kids, and we're just, we're still figuring things out.
One of the things that I noticed, was you guys played well defensively against Cade Stashik. He was all over the floor with the ball and directing traffic, and he scored, I don't know, how many did he get there, Dan? 13 points, decent night. That's pretty close to his average. But those were sneaky, quiet points. All of a sudden he had them.
We lost him in the first half a couple of times where he was able to go right down the middle of our zone in the first half in the transition game, and that's where he got a couple of easy points. I thought Elijah, for the most part, when we kind of matched up with him, did a solid job, and our defense overall did solid. We threw, as you saw, we threw a couple different things at them tonight, and they made some shots in the first half that were huge. That some kids that I didn't think they could make some shots. No, again, no disrespect, but they made some shots I didn't think they could.
The player of theirs that I was also very impressed with, that I hadn't heard a lot about before the game, was Diego Schmidt, who defensively was all over the place and very aggressive on the boards and really making his presence.
Yeah, he's quick to the loose ball. That's where he flourishes, is on loose balls, because he's quick and he's strong. And I thought that we got fouled a lot going to the rim, and we didn't get any of those. Again, I'm not saying that the refs did a bad job. They did a great job tonight. It was a good game, but I just felt like we didn't get some of those calls.
In fact, we made a comment about that there were an awful lot of times, and it wasn't just Viking players hitting the floor after they were putting a shot up, and that just doesn't happen by itself. There's usually some contact that's happening that's usually a foul.
Yeah, and we really, I stress a lot about playing through contact, because that's big. And, the better players know how to play through that contact, and that's how they get the and ones. Mm-hmm. So we've got to find a way to finish those. If we get fouled, we can't just fall down, right? We have to be strong.
Right.
And we have to find a way to get those and ones.
Well, it was an exciting game, a fairly close game throughout. Vikings drop it 59-45. Coming up next for you guys next week, you have Cochran Fountain City right here in Colfax.
Yeah, and they're playing really well. They're scoring a lot of points. I really don't know a whole lot about them, so hopefully they don't know anything about us as well. And we're going to be on a blind date with each other.
Well, that could be fun. We'll just have you guys go out and play some basketball and see what happens.
Yes. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Everyone watching, go Vikings.
And thank you for joining us. And coming up next, we will have more Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2. Okay, you ready?
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal him from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, and final score, Vikings drop one to the Spring Valley Cardinals 59-45 in a game that's closer than the score says. So Dan, tell us how we got to those points.
Yeah, here's the scores tonight for Spring Valley Cardinals. They were led by two guys tonight. Mason Wolf and Cade Stasek had 13. We had Diego Schmidt with 12. We had Jameson Bauer with 5. We had Elijah Pullen with 8. And Trevor Forrester with 8. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led tonight by number 4, Aiden Fisher. He had 17. Lad Jensminger had 15. Ryan Nichols had 2. Blake Johnson had 5. And Eli Ralph had 6.
So that comes out to 59-45. Tough one for the Vikings to take because they played tough tonight, and just wasn't going to be enough against a very strong Spring Valley Cardinals. But we have more basketball coming your way. In fact, tomorrow afternoon, we have a game. Make sure you join us on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN TV, as the Viking girls are going to travel over to Hudson, Wisconsin to take on the Hudson Raiders in a non-conference tilt. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning at 3 p.m., and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax girls basketball tomorrow on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. And then join us right back here on NLWN2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Tuesday, December 19th, as the Viking boys are going to play host to the Cochrane Fountain City Pirates in a game we just talked about with Coach Knoll. It's a non-conference matchup. Viking pregame begins at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's Viking boys basketball on Tuesday, December 19th, right here on NLWN2. Make sure to make your plans to tune in to either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV for our Christmas gift to you 2023. We'll bring you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's on Christmas Eve, beginning at 7 p.m. on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and on NLWN TV. Don't forget that tonight's Colfax Viking Boys Basketball game has been brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their friendly staff take care of your pet. C&K Construction, your concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Special thanks to Santa Claus for coming to join us at halftime. It's always kind of a neat, pleasant surprise when we get a chance to chat with the jolly old elf. And also to Dan Petchow, my right-hand man tonight, and Chris Olson on camera. I'm Rick Olson, and that final score once again, Spring Valley Cardinals 59, Vikings 45. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.